Well, ladies and gentlemen, this girl right here has been cooking online and in these streets for a minute, and she got the whole world talking right now. She here to show us her wild side. One time for Normani. What up, Queen?
Hey, oh my God, I need your energy around every morning. Can
Man,
I just
listen,
you? Can I get a voice memo and just make that my alarm?
whatever you need, you got it covered, yo. Well, first and foremost, want to say congratulations on all the traction that you got going on right now. You are creeping up on 30 million views right now.
Thank you so much. No, it's crazy, especially not having put music out in 2 years. Just how well received it was and all the love that everybody showed me. It meant a lot.
What made you take so long to press the button to like put more music out? Because I know you had some bullets in the chamber ready to go for a while. So
Yeah.
why did you decide the time was now as opposed to like earlier?
I mean, I feel like, a lot of people forget that, I guess because I've been in the industry for so long, but I was in a girl group, meaning I was an entity of something. I wasn't necessarily my own artist, so it definitely took a minute for me to figure out, like sonically, what I want to say and what I want to convey lyrically, what I want to talk about, just artist development, that I felt like I needed. And I knew that I would have felt ready when the time was right. And I felt like what greater time than now, especially because for me, I know what it's like to put records out that I don't wholeheartedly believe in. And I just felt like this particular record, like I wouldn't have had a wild side even, a year ago.
Yeah.
So I always say that everything happens for a reason. I know my fans were very diligent and they were patient, which I'm forever grateful for. Like they always rock with me, even sometimes not knowing, like, yo, like what's going on? Just trust the process. But I couldn't have imagined, like I said, putting out anything else. Like for me, it wasn't the obvious record. I think coming off of Motivation, everybody expected for me, which honestly is what I was striving for throughout the process too, is like, okay, what's the next that? Um, but I landed on this record and I'm just like, it may not be obvious, like, hey, single one, but it was important, and it was important to me because of culture, and also because of the records that I grew up listening to and the influences that I also had. I feel like a lot of people still have yet to know who Normani is. And this was my opportunity, like I said, to showcase who I am and the many layers and dimensions of what I like and what goes through my head. And this was the record that I felt like did that. So
Well, we definitely got to see your wild side. And and anybody that been following your trajectory for a while, they know you got moves, and you have all types of fans that come in all sizes, shapes, and forms. I mean, you got your fans, and you got your celebrity fans. Cardi B, obviously, being a big, huge supporter of you, she tapped in on the record, and there's some controversy that came with that. And I saw some tweets a couple weeks ago talk about, well, if y'all have a problem, remove me off the record. Where are we at with that? And like, was that just the moment she was having? Everything's cool now?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people put us on a pedestal, like at the end of the day, we're human beings as well. So if you provoke us, like we are human beings. Like I said, like anybody would, if you're being pushed so much, eventually you're going to blow up. And I know that she said that probably, I know, just out of frustration, but you have to think that like all week since the record came out, since the artwork came out, we already knew and predicted that people would be upset, but we wanted to really focus on our fans, Barty Gang, Normani Nation, and just give our fans what they deserved. Like I said, my fans have not had anything for the last 2 years, so that completely outweighs the negative, But I mean, like I said, like people put us on such a pedestal and expect us not to react, and she didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
I'm my own artist, and at the end of the day, like I make music for myself first and foremost. So if I'm really, really excited about her being on a record and me always wanting to work with her and her being just as excited to work with me as I am about her, like that's what it was about for us. And I'm just
Yeah.
such a girl's girl, and I love just everything that she stands for. Like I feel like she has a history of supporting women too. So I rock with that. And like I said, at the end of the day, like this record was for us and for the people that genuinely love us. You know, there's an artist for everybody. Everybody's not gonna
Yeah.
love the artist. So
You're
respect.
rocking for who you're rocking for. So, when this verse comes in, because I imagine like no one really like gets to work in the studio together these days. It's the zip file comes in with the vocals. What was the line that made you laugh the most when you heard Cardi B's verse?
I mean, it was I could probably suck a watermelon through a straw. It was definitely like it was definitely that line for sure. I was actually on the way to scout locations, and I was in the car. I forget who was I was in the car with, but all of our jaws dropped. All of our jaws dropped. It's just that shit that Cardi can say that I feel like nobody else can say. You know, especially not me. Which it's like what every girl thinks and wants to say but won't say. So
Right.
she said it for all of us, you know. I just there's just so much character, and she really really worked really hard and fought for this to be perfect for me and perfect for the record because she believed in it. We had plenty kind of conversations, um just talking about like, okay, we want it to be more aggressive, you know, like we have the R&B smooth vocal from me, but I really I was adamant I wanted a section that felt bold and aggressive and dominant, and she was the perfect person when I think about what I
Well,
want.
I mean,
You know,
well,
like she delivered and she exceeded my expectation. So, which honestly was already high because I told her, I was like, just do that Cardi thing. Like, do what you do. That's
she
all.
understood the assignment. But, so did you, Normani. Like, yo, as a person who probably falls in the 1% of the worst dancers in the world, talking about myself, the
Oh,
fact
no.
that you was able to do the choreography and everybody that was on that set bodied it, how much practice does it take for people who don't understand and to have a better understanding of the work you put in? How much time does it take for you to learn that choreography and put it together?
We rehearsed for about a month and a half, but we had talked about the video for about 2.5 months.
Okay.
Yeah, because the director was from the Ukraine, so there was plenty of Zoom conversations that we had. You know, I'm here, she's in the Ukraine. When she's awake, I'm asleep. So we had to figure that shit out. It was crazy, but we made it work. And with Sean Bankhead, my brother, my right hand, like my everything, he always pushes me, and I always push him. We've known each other for a very long time, and you know, for us to have such a strong relationship, like I said, not only as choreographer and artist, but like that's like my brother. I can call him for literally anything. You know, my mom was going through one of the toughest times in our family's life ever. Like she had been diagnosed with cancer. He was like one of the first people I talked to about that. And he just got me through some really tough times. So it's just like I said, the level of trust, not just in what we do, but as people and in our personal lives, I feel like really translates and speaks through the art, which you can see. Like we just always strive to be better than our last. We're like, okay, well, motivation is this. So what are we gonna do next? Like trying to wrap our heads around it. And like we didn't even know motivation was gonna do what it did.
It's like
But
you never know, right? It just happens, right? Organically.
no, and us being passionate, like equally as passionate about this particular record, like he's such an R&B head, and I am too, which a lot of people might not know. I know I say it a lot in interviews, but based on the off of the records that I put out, like that's why it was so important for me to put this out. It was so important for me to put this out because I finally feel seen, you know?
Yeah. Oh no,
Um,
trust me, we're seeing you. We're
yeah.
definitely seeing you, man. And like it's always dope to make those new impressions and get new eyes on it. And another thing that I want to salute you for, Queen, is the fact that you believe so much in your talent and your vision that you put your own money into your videos. Some people are scared. We will invest in the dumbest things, but we will not invest in ourselves.
Yeah.
And you did that. Now, was it with the shakiest of hands that you signed the check to pay for the video, or like he's like, you know what, this is the one, I got this, let's go?
No, I'm telling you, I'm like, I'm so optimistic. And when I believe in something, like, especially creatively, I'm like, the world is my oyster. Like, I could, you, want to make this happen, like, okay, it'll come back tenfold. Like, there's
Okay.
no question about it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my business manager and, like, of course, mom, dad gotta step in and be like, "Are you sure?" Everybody looking at me crazy. When I say crazy, I mean crazy. But I believed in what I was doing. Like I said, when God puts a vision on my heart and places an idea in my head, like, I'm like, I understand the assignment. Like, this is what it needs to be, and I'm willing to bet on myself. You know, like I said, I know that I'll get that back
Indeed. You know,
easy. But
show money, go money, stream money. You know, you got it.
definitely dropped a lot, but it was well worth it. You know,
Oh,
I feel
you
like I have a
definitely could tell.
yeah, I have a body of work that I'm going to be proud of for the rest of my life. Like, it's my best work yet, I feel, and there's so much more that I have yet to do. So that's just always exciting.
Now, in the spiritual space, are you a meditator? Are you a manifester? Or you just or with just classic prayer? Like, you know, like how do you get down in that space?
It's a combination. It's a little bit of manifestation, well, a lot of it of manifestation, and also prayer. I'm a woman of my faith, you know, God fearing, and He's gotten me through a lot. There's been so many moments, even before my solo endeavors, where I was just willing to give up on myself, and He gave me the strength to sustain like everything that I endured. You know, being the only Black girl and in an international girl group was very, very tough at times. Like, as beautiful as it was also, I would say, definitely the hardest time of my life, especially at such a young age. You know, it impacted me greatly, and sometimes still impacts how I view myself, which is something that I'm working on. I always ask God, I'm like, allow me to see myself through your eyes and not of the world, or not based off of any of my experiences, you know? So I'm working on that. But I I'm just really proud of the woman that I've become, you know, and I feel like God has held my hand throughout the whole process, even before the music video was shot, like literally the day before. It felt like everything was going wrong, and I just couldn't make sense of anything. I'm like, okay, I don't think that I have the capacity or capability to fix any of this. So, Lord, have your way. And I went to church. I didn't go inside because obviously COVID restrictions.
Right.
But sat in my car, I prayed, and things turned around like immediately.
Same, just a little bit of faith goes a long way. Well, as a person who respects your past but believes in your future, what was the hardest part for you about going at it solo? Because, you know, especially like people in the music space, they try to keep artists in box. Like, hey, we know we respect the party that you came, you know, that you came with. Oh, now you're trying to do something different. And we've seen it work out well for a lot of people. So when you're going out there braving this journey on your own, what was the hardest part for you?
Um, you know, I think that I always had an idea about what God had planned. Even when I was little, my mom would always ask me, and my dad would ask, you know, why do you want to be in a girl group? I was so adamant about being in a girl group at a very, very young age. I think because I mean, I grew up in one of the best eras of girl groups, if you want to be, you know, real. Destiny's Child, In Vogue, TLC, like, I just always wanted to be, but I knew that that was the purpose over my life, but I was always so afraid. So stepping into my solo endeavors, coming out of a group, like, I knew what it was going to be. I had a feeling, like the Holy Spirit was telling me, like, I knew, but part of me was obviously scared because there's comfortability being on stage with, you know, four other girls, especially for so long. Um, I remember for Billboard Music Awards with Khalid, that was the first time I ever performed by myself without the girls. And I was so nervous. So it was a combination of the excitement, but also like nerves. You know, I was
Mm.
very, very nervous. You never know. But after that performance really, it completely changed my life and just my perspective. And like, I'm like, oh shit, like I'm in the game. Like, people fuck with me. You
Yeah.
that I respect and have looked up to for such a long time. And like I said, that was always who Normani was. But that was the first time that I was able to fully be myself on stage and not hold back.
Yeah. Well, we like what you're putting out there. The video, Wild Side, cooking up right now. When do we get like a full body of work? How far are we away from that?
You're not too far. We're not too far. Like end of where are we in now? Like end of this year, beginning of next.
Do we got a name yet?
I want to go on tour, so I need to
Okay.
put this. Yes.
Do we have a name for the project yet?
I'm not gonna say.
I know. If in 2 weeks we hear the name of your project, I'm gonna be very upset.
You know, I like elements of surprises.
Okay, love that. Yo, and that tour aspect, I can't wait to see how these songs translate live. You know, like just watching the news, I don't know if I need to be like putting clothes on or putting them away. Like, you know,
Oh my god.
with this whole COVID situation and like they got Delta Comfort Plus out now, like it's a lot going on.
No, hopefully they don't shut us down again.
Got you. Yeah, we're rooting.
I'm praying to God because I miss being on stage. Like I miss my fans.
Yeah. And they miss you too, yo. So Normani, before you roll out, I want to play a quick little game with you. It's called This or That. I'm going to give you 2 options. You got to pick the best out of the 2 as it relates to you. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Normani, talk about your wild side. Are you more of a fan of early morning or late night sex?
Oh my God. Next.
Okay. The song's called Wild Side. I totally thought you'd be game. Okay, moving on.
Music is an escape.
Okay. All right, how about this? Phone calls or FaceTime?
I mean, if you my boo, FaceTime, but if like other than that, you gotta schedule an appointment.
Okay. Do you like physical gifts or people to give you experiences?
Experiences.
Okay. Now, we see you cook in the singing space, and anybody watches you know you a hellified dancer. If you had to pick one or the other to do for the rest of your life, which one would you go with?
You're saying between singing and dancing?
Yes. Like, if you go down this door, you'll be the greatest dancer of all time. You go down this other door, you will be the greatest singer of all time. Which one does Normani choose?
That's limiting me. Why would you put me in a box? I could be both.
I don't know, but you could be the greatest of all time at one and the greatest of all time at another. They're both great, amazing things.
Or greatest of all time at both. I don't want to limit myself.
You know, cut yourself in half and walk through both doors.
Exactly. I can't. They're both me.
Nah, I totally understand. Well, yo, listen, keep shining, keep doing your thing, keep it wild. And yo, may God put his energy not only on everything you're doing, but also your mom's as well.
Thank you so much.
Yo, like, yeah, we're definitely rooting for her 100% recovery. And yo, keep cooking up for the fans, love.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
We are the Morning Hustle.